Yes. Now, the Medical and Dental Council says the qualification of a neurosurgeon trained in China is not adequate to enable him practice here in Ghana. Dr.Seidu Ibrahimani Richard says he's a qualified medical doctor whose training in neurosurgery lasted 6 months. He's claiming that the council has refused him an examination to practice in Ghana. He says he's had to resort to driving a taxi cab for a living as a result of the frustration of unemployment and has since petitioned Shraj on the matter.
The medical degree in University for Development Studies, and these are the certificates to that effect. From there, I was sworn in as a medical doctor with a provisional license to practice as a house officer. While practicing as a house officer under supervision in the Volta Regional Hospital, I had a scholarship to go and read neurosurgery at Yangtze University. So I had finished 1 year of my house job before leaving. As at the time, weighing through understanding the practice of medicine in Ghana and looking at evaluating the regulations that is governing the medical body as they are written in black and white, I decided to go in to have a higher skill. The house job is to equip the house officer with basic and critical skills to be able to practice. I have done 1 year of that. The second year was what was left. I was even in the middle of the second year before leaving. Currently, I have a higher certificate that with higher skills, which is the neurosurgery certificate that I went to China to go and study for. Per this, when I came back to this country in 2015, I wrote to the Ghana Medical and Dental Council and kept an application to write the examination, the specialist examination. These are the receipts of payment of my receipt of payment to write the exams in 2015. Now, I was denied the exams. No letter was written to me as to whether my document has been received and as to whether I would even sit for the exams. I go there almost every day until I got frustrated. Then I noticed that as a neurosurgeon, I must have a world certification because it is only neurosurgery that has a world body that regulates the practice of neurosurgery, which is the Federation of World Federation of Neurological Surgical Associations. And currently, as I tell you, I have gone to take this practice, and my name has been catalogued at the headquarters of this particular association or this particular world body of neurosurgery in Geneva, Switzerland, and these are the copies. I am still a fellow in one of the most busiest hospital in China, that is the West China Hospital. This hospital is located at the west of China, and it has so many patients. While doing my practice or my fellowship in this particular hospital, I had the opportunity to treat so many diverse neurosurgical conditions in the whole world. I have written and published most of these cases. As you can, if you want, you can Google my name. You can also check up my name and ResearchGate, and all of them are publications to indicate that I actually have done so much work in neurosurgery in this particular hospital.
That's Dr. Seidu's report. Now, Shraj has since written to the Medical and Dental Council, giving them up to December 3 to explain why Dr. Richard is not being allowed to write the licensure exams. But Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council, Dr. Ellis Achukwi, has been speaking to JoyNews and says Dr. Ibrahimani's request cannot be granted.
The issue is that, well, for neurosurgery, I am sure when we're talking about neurosurgery, there is somebody who should be in a position to open up your skull and operate on your brain. There is somebody who would have to work on your spine. And therefore, we are very careful as to whoever we go in there or we register there to do specific programs or to do specific surgeries. Now, in his case, you have asked a question as to whether the duration. I indicated that it is not only the duration. We looked at the course content. We look at as to whether or not he has even had patient responsibility in the course of his training.
Did
now,
he have
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we also look at the fact as to whether or not that individual can be registered in the country of origin or the country of training to practice at the level that the individual purports to be.
Okay.
Now, we have also found out from China, because we have a number of Ghanaians being trained in China. And we know that for you to hold yourself up as a specialist in China, after you have done your MBCHB, your primary, or you have obtained your primary qualification, you do a 3 year, then you do not have patient responsibility. You do an additional 3 years, which makes it 6 years. And then you have a probationary period of 2 years, where now you will have some patient responsibility but under strict supervision. That is what happens in the country of training. So if you were in China, you would have done the first 3 years, done an additional 3 years, and then have a probationary period of 2 years. So that makes it about 8 years for him to be fully let out to have patient responsibility on his own. In his case, he's back in Ghana after a 3-year program. And we know that in other jurisdictions, in Germany, in the US, in the UK, neurosurgery, you need to have done 6 years. So the question is, as to whether it was fast-tracked or it was whatever, which to me, to the council, we know that with surgical procedures, we do not fast-track training.
Right. So, Doc, have we tried to verify the documents he presents as proof?
We have done everything. And I wish to indicate that, you see, Dr. Abramani claims that we have not communicated with him, or he has been left in the dark. He doesn't know anything about what is happening at the Medical and Dental Council. I have before me Dr. Abramani's file. I'll tell you that on the 3rd of July this year, I had a meeting with him in my office. And usually what I do is, when I meet with practitioners, I take notes on whatever the outcome of the meetings are. So on the 3rd of July 2018, I met with Dr. Abramani in my office. We talked about his additional qualification and his eligibility to write the council's examination as a specialist.